Hey everybody, what's going on? Watch this review here with a look at the graphics classic Bram Stoker edition. Now Bram or Bram, I've heard it pronounced both ways, but he's the author of Dracula, and he also did a little kick-ass story I like to call Lair of the White Worm, because that actually is its name. In case anybody's wondering about Don or Ton, the censorship raccoon, there's a little bit of possibly risque material there that I want to block off just so YouTube doesn't pull my video. Partial nudity, but it's nudity to the point where it's sort of indecent. You know, I probably also have younger viewers. I mean, I don't think so, but, you know, just to play it safe. I don't want to corrupt any young minds any more than I usually do. But, Lair of the White Worm was actually adapted into a movie during the 80s, which basically has like nothing to do with the real story, but it's a really good watch if anybody wants to catch it. Again, it's got a bit of nudity, so probably not for younger audiences, but it's really campy, it's fun, pretty decent film, although it almost completely deviates from the story. It takes the basic premise, but everything else has just been updated to a more modern vibe. But yeah, let's just take a peek inside the comic here. The art style varies. I got this used off Amazon, so it's got this ugly crease right in the center. It's like, why do these people do that? It really ticks me off sometimes, the quality of stuff you get from Amazon. But I mean, yeah, you have options to review negatively, but Amazon doesn't have like the same amount of stuff as eBay, or at least it's not how I see it. But the stories covered in this one are, I mean, this is part of a long series. I've read the Lovecraft one, the Mark Twain one, which was actually pretty decent, and of course each story is done by a different artist for the most part. There's actually one really crappy story, which is just text. Which one's it called? I think it was The Duelists. Was it The Duelists? I believe it was The Duelists, because it regards twins. But I mean, it's just a really crappy story. It was like, ugh. Wasn't really up to the caliber of the other stuff that Bram Stoker's written. But the art style's all different. I got this mostly because I wanted Lair of the White Worm. It's got more of a cartoonish look to it, although it captures the entire story, which is actually a bit of a annoying read. Then it has the Torture Tower. Again, kind of cool cartoony style. Completely different from the old one. Then you've got stuff that's where it's like half text and half picture. Actually, I'm not sure if that's lewd or not. Maybe because it's like a kid and doesn't actually show anything. In retrospect, I probably would have taken a closer look at that page, but yeah, I'm not counting that one as I'm not going to reshoot the video for that. This one's actually a part of the adaptation of the Dracula story. It's called Dracula's Voyage. As you can see, they went for a more artistic design. More interpretive. The Mark Twain edition's really great. I recommend looking at that one. The one from the series. It has The Visitor, which is a pretty cool story. This is some more just stylized art to depict some of the Dracula stuff. And The Judge's House, which is a pretty cool story. It's got a more realistic, more modern comic look to it. Oh yeah, and here's the photo of the judge. Some creepy looking dude. The Mark Twain edition's pretty awesome. The Mark Twain edition has the a Visitor, which has this mysterious guy who claims to be an angel named Lucifer, but he says that the angel Lucifer, the actual one that's known as the devil's like his uncle or something, And then he gets into like causes all sorts of trouble and claims that, he's in the right because he's an angel and because he's created directly by God and has like no morality or any sense. Anything he does is automatically right, which was completely twisted. It was an incredibly great read. I totally recommend picking that one up. That, and it had a few other really Mark Twainish humor stories in it. This one's also pretty good, but mostly just for Larry the White Worm and the Judge's House. The other stories, just list the other stories really quick. Introduction, Larry the White Worm, which is good. Torture Tower, decent. Involves a cat whose kitten is accidentally killed. Wondrous Child, it's like a half-text thing. Funeral Party, it's just a short story with a punchline, which is kind of hard to get. Dracula's Voyage, short work. Dracula Gallery is just a bunch of pictures. The Vampire Hunter's Guide, not very good. The Duelists, pretty crappy story. It's basically just a story with a few pictures. Not great. Judge's House, pretty good story. And The Bridle of Death, which I didn't think was all that great, but it's cool art, and I really like the series as a whole. I first learned about it from my local library and so forth, and that's basically where I've seen most of the editions so far, which have been the Lovecraft, the Mark Twain, the Adventures one, which had a few really cool stories, including one about a blind tiger or panther or something that's like trained to just hunt down somebody, and when it's just set loose in somebody, it'll just slowly plod after them, and eventually it'll catch up to them because it's got like a keen sense of smell and stuff. But yeah, you should probably just check it out if you can. Probably not a strong buy, but I mean, if you like Bram Stoker, and in particular Larry the White Worm, I mean, it's a pretty strong buy. The other stuff isn't as cool.